Are you today? This week has been just tough, I think, because of the daylight savings time weirdness and how fast the day goes when it's daylight savings time. Maybe you're in a state that doesn't do that. And I wish that I was too, because I'm just tired of this. I'm too old for schedule changes such as this. So anyway, this clip I just got off of Charlotte on the web, her page. Charlotte is an absolutely beautiful lady. I have enjoyed her content over the last year that I have joined the YouTube community and became a creator myself. I look to other creators to learn how to do better and learn better. It's a huge learning curve, I think. And, at my age, hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but I think that I've came a long way since I began, where I was just recording on my phone, and putting things up on my other channel, just straight voice, to getting a little bit better with, obviously the help of my teenagers who gave me, the insight on the OBS system and all that good stuff, and, ultimately invested in a laptop, etc., etc. So, to this date, I started my this channel here on June 10th of last year. I am not monetized. I have never asked anybody for a cent. I started a Cash App because somebody asked me if I had one. I've not gotten anything on there. No donations whatsoever. No PayPal. No nothing. I am not yet monetized. I need 1,000 subscriber. I'm at 965. Thank you all. I need 4,000 hours of watch time, and I have 36,563 view hours as of yesterday. So thank you so much. You guys watch and listen, and you guys are so fun to interact with. And that's my point, is that I believe that I am doing what YouTube is supposed to be about, where we are creative minds that see things in a different light than mainstream media, and we form topics of discussion, so that we're a better society. Now, these two assholes here are exploiting money nonstop in ways that I do not believe this platform was set up to be. Now, I am using this clip from Charlotte's clip that she took from their clip, okay? So clip to clip. When Charlotte took a clip from his page last week, he is threatening to strike her, and showed her and Michelle, who does not look like this. This is a very old picture of her, as we can tell. She ages about the same as a banana. She referred to Charlotte as homely, and Charlotte is a beautiful lady. Her eyes are just gorgeous. She's got these beautiful, beautiful, striking eyes. She's calm. She's introspective. She's eloquent. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, and Charlotte is like I was a couple of weeks ago. I did not know who this man was. And as I knew of Michelle, because I think that she's a disgusting piece of shit, because she's exploited a United States veteran who has faced foreign enemies, and they were nothing compared to what she is doing to him actively, and what she has done to him and his family, and what she is continuing to do, as she will not leave the house that he bought. Per her divorce agreement, because he wanted her out. She would not leave because she's a cockroach. So once she got in and settled in that house, she was not going to leave. And so no matter how many times she abused him and falsely accused him of abuse, I have shown you some of those, and I've shown the documentation. More documentation is on Penelope's Lane, and she has the full divorce degrees and everything else. So Michelle would go be drunk and attack him. She put wet cement all over in his hair, on his face, on his skin. I showed those pictures. And then she'd be so drunk and whatnot, she'd start hitting him and attacking him. And he would be trying to walk away and disengage, as a military man is trained to do. And she would continue to hit, kick, spit, everything else on him. And then she'd call the cops on him and threaten to have him put in jail, etc., 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 accusing him of domestic abuse. So, she's getting all the sympathy, blah, 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 blah. Faked a stroke when he first filed for divorce. He couldn't get her out of the house. And then when, he had to go back to full-time caring for her like she's an infant, it worked for a while. Then she started her crap again. So he tried to get her out because she's going around telling everybody she's a victim of domestic violence, saying that he threw boiling water on her and all this and blah, blah, blah. Well, if she's such an abused victim, if she's a victim of domestic violence, why won't she leave? Well, she later admitted and has admitted on these platforms that she completely made it up, that her ex loves her and would never harm her in any way. And in fact, she can call him up anytime she wants for cash. His name is Etienne. It's a French name, like Etienne. So it's shortened to Etienne. And so people joke around and say ATM because that's the way that she treated this poor man. I take offense at anybody who cheapens, abuses, disrespects, and exploits any veteran, but especially this veteran after I have seen some of the pictures of what she's done to this man. So when she set her testicles on this man to go and get him, because the divorce decree states that she won't leave the house. That's the thing. She won't leave the house. So the divorce attorneys, after all of this and whatnot, back and forth, they let her stay in the house. Plus he pays her alimony. So he pays her to stay in that house that he solely financed and was only there because of his income. She has never made any income other than her disability. She purports to be an insurance adjuster. She has maybe taken a class or two, but she has zero proof that she has ever done any job within that. She purports that she was an escort and made $500 an hour, etc., for years, and used her own daughter's name as her prostitute moniker. Okay. She says that she never once had sexual relations with any man for money, although she purports to be an escort paid $500 an hour. Now, once you have seen the way that she looks, she is what is called in the industry keyhole blocker, because when they order the girl will come up to the door and put her finger on the keyhole so the guy can't look out and be like, oh, no one's here, no one's answering. You have the wrong hotel room. No. So she's probably one that covers the keyhole and gets in. And then with her ass, they probably just paid her to leave. She purports that she was, this international escort that was just men paid to be in her company, $500 an hour. They take her to Paris and Rome and Italy, and she'd be with the best of the best. And she's lived in hotels and knows everybody in every 4-star, 4 seasons, and all of this because she is just so ravishing, right? No, none of this happened. Okay? None of it happened. There is no proof she has ever made $1 other than what she has been on welfare most of her life. Okay? Now, she purports that a lot of this happened because she lost a baby with SIDS, and I'm sorry for that. However, she says the most disgusting things about what people should do on top of her baby's grave. Her other son is in prison, and he is the one that I have shown in the clip where she told him that he should tear off his penis, swallow it, so that prison is easier on him. And now she has people paying for his commissary. Her daughter, which she used her name for prostituting, is raised by her father, and they both have restraining orders against Michelle, so she is no factor in her life. So before her baby died of SIDS, I got intel from one of her exes that she was extremely messed up, and there was an investigation surrounding and I'm not going to say too much about that because I don't want to infer that on anybody. It's a terrible thing, but she was a shitty mom before that incident happened. Okay? Now, the home that she is in, she has to be able to show that she can solely finance it by the month of May. or she needs to vacate it, at which time it will be sold and the profits will be divided between two because, no matter what, she's still got everything in the divorce, everything she wanted, so she wants the house entirely. So her goal is to get a man in there so that she can finance the house, okay? That was his house. She's disgusting and she has a huge bat infestation and a big collection of dead bats in this screen thing and this pile of bat shit below it. She has rats as big as most cats. As you can hear, one of my cats is crying right now because I have my door shut a little bit too much. In just a second, let me get her because she's crying. Come in. It's okay. You can be here too. Come on. I didn't mean to shut it so much. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you okay? You forgive me? It was a misunderstanding. I'm sorry. Okay? We good? I'm sorry. Let me give you a treat. I apologize. My bad. My bad. I just saw something and I wanted to do something on behalf of the world that needs to know about assholes. Kisses. There's just assholes in the world. Okay? Assholes that mistreat vets. And we can't have that. We like our veterans, don't we? There you go, baby. Okay, I'm sorry. I am sorry. May I go now? Okay, sorry about that interruption. There was a misunderstanding with the door shut. Not allowed to have doors shut around here when you have cats. The door was open enough that she could have pushed through, but, she had to be dramatic. I have to invite her in. Anyway. Oh, hi, boo-boo. So, anywho, sorry about that. I will continue my rant as such. So, where was I? I was talking about bats, rats, and she has several handguns because she has to shoot these pregnant armadillo things underneath the house, apparently. So we have handguns in this situation. Now, she has never known how to cook a meal in any capacity. She's had all of her men have to do full-time caretaking of her, as is apparent in the videos. Now, with that knowledge, she is trying to pretend like she knows how to cook so that she can act like she has a cooking channel. So people are like, what's the harm? She just wants to have a cooking channel. I mean, like Martha, what's the dealio? Why would that be bad? Well, it's bad because she gets so high, she texts a piece of toast. And the other night, she almost set the house on fire with all of the grease and everything else she was trying to do on the... my jaw was dropping. I was like going, oh my God, she's going to burn that house down. And that may be her goal. The inside of the kitchen has some glass cabinets. You can see the layers of nicotine all over the glass. Those same layers of nicotine are now inside of her arteries. This big health crisis of hers is because of the damage that smoking 2 packs a day are doing on her. She had a 60% block of one of the arteries that was going to her feet, so it was blocking off blood flow to her toe, and that's why it became, well, it looked like it was necrotized. It turns out it was just more dirt and whatnot because she's not good at bathing. And once they went into debris and whatnot, they were able to handle the sore a little better, but they did have to go ahead and put a stent in, which required an angio. And with an angio, you need to lay down and make sure that's not going to open because you'll bleed out. They go in through your femoral artery to put that in. And that's how my angio went. I'm assuming it goes that way to go down. I could be mistaken, but she had to lay down in the same way I did. I had to have like these like weighted sandbags and stuff on my femoral artery when my angio was done and whatnot. But anyway, I still had to take it easy and stuff. And she didn't. And she's just flailing around. Anyway. She purports that this house has a bed and breakfast in it. Now, I have never seen the whole shut-off area that one would say is a bed and breakfast. So I'm assuming that it's kind of like the movie Misery, where she has a bedroom upstairs where she would cook her horrifying meals with the rat shit and bat shit and everything else and give meals to a person and then take their identity and live like them for the rest of their I don't know. But anyway, she's trying to get this man to come to be the manager of her bed and breakfast. Okay, that is actually Etienne's home that he financed with his military benefits and from being a veteran who had recently retired. So she was not your typical military wife. She met him while he was in the latter years of his service, and then he retired and he had to take on this domestic enemy. She spent so much of his money. She is now saying that a documentary was made about her. There was a documentary called Rock Chaos. It's about the culture of big rock concerts and how they're organized and how security has to make sure that everybody stays safe with all of these things that can go wrong, because if the crowd starts a death wall, if the crowd starts like a human tornado, all these things that can go wrong. And in so doing, they went forth and they interviewed other people who do like things like crowd surfing and whatnot. Well, somehow with Etienne's money, she had him buy like a bubble so that she could put her and Etienne in it and crowd surf through big concerts in a bubble. Okay, so they interviewed her about that. Now, in this interview, there was also a lady who crowd surfs with her wheelchair that she lost a leg in. She lost a leg in a motorcycle accident, and her husband had also crowd surfed with her. So she crowd surfs now in her wheelchair. Michelle now purports that that's her best friend. We don't see this best friend in any of her shit shows, do we? No, we don't. So people were saying, well, if a documentary was done about you, why isn't there an IMDb? And if you were the stunt double and you've done all these things and everything, why isn't there an IMDb? Well, suddenly now there's something on the internet now about this documentary because she wrote it. It says self reported or whatever. So she wrote in there, but now she's telling everybody that, yeah, she was in a documentary about what she's done. And she says that she traveled with the bands and stuff. And I don't see that, but I didn't watch the documentary. I've just researched and I read the transcript of it. So she's trying to get this man to come in and basically you think about it. And in May, because she cannot finance this because she doesn't have Etienne's money, what's going to happen in May? She's going to be there and she's going to get evicted because she's not going to be able to finance. She thinks that what she's going to have Etienne do is put the house up, sell it, then her part of the equity will be enough to finance the house on her own, that she'll be able to buy it like that. Nope, not going to happen. Here's the thing. Because she's done such significant damage to the house, they're going to have to fumigate her out of it. Like, have you ever seen that when that has to be done with the house, like they have to put like the circus tent over it, which is probably very appropriate for what she's trying to do in that house. Put this circus tent over it and fumigate. So you have to fumigate to get all of the pests out. So hopefully, Etienne will put the dogs somewhere safe and then fumigate her out, the bats out, the rats out, God knows whatever pest out too. Okay. So that money for repairs that are going to have to be to that house are going to significantly cut into any profit, any equity that would be there. Or eviction papers will be filed and she'll be evicted by the sheriff. Okay. Either way, wouldn't it behoove her to have a man in the house while this is happening? She thinks she's going to get this man so that the two of them can finance the house and run a bed and breakfast out of it on this land and live happily ever after, right? They can do drugs together, have a pretend cooking show, which is actually just a way for them to extort money from people 24/7. Michelle has lost several channels. This pisses me off because when my channel was erroneously struck down by, I'm not going to say it, struck down when several channels were struck down because several of us commented on somebody doing something stupid with a bullhorn. And many of our channels were struck down then. I'm a new creator, new to YouTube. So, I mean, especially at that time, I've been, on, like I say, I've been on YouTube because I have my other channel, but I didn't do much on the thing, just recorded on my other channel. So I've been on YouTube for a couple of years, but only as a creator since last June. Done 127 videos, etc., etc., like I've said. But at that point, I'd been on YouTube, I think, for 5 months, had 50 videos. I did not back up any of them. I didn't think anything would ever happen. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was following all of the terms of services, except for, every once in a while I cuss. But I had no idea this could happen. So I was devastated. I was crying, and it said on there that I was permanently banned. I could not, start another channel ever. This was done. I could not be on YouTube. If I tried, I would be, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I was scared. And so I filled out everything because, other people told me that I could probably get my channel back if I didn't do anything. These things happen, blah, blah, blah. So I filled out the proper forms, and YouTube reviewed everything and said that I didn't do anything wrong, that I was erroneously struck, and it wasn't my fault. Well, still to this day, every time I go to my computer or my phone to look and it takes an extra second, I lose I'm just like, I'm afraid to breathe in because I feel like my channel might be gone again. And although I'm doing really good in backing up everything and I have everything all backed up to Patreon and everything, I don't want to be a creator that has to charge people. I want to be a creator that does this and I can get my money through YouTube because I think that that's the way it's supposed to be. I want to be able to pay for my gas and not feel guilty if I get coffee, and maybe put back some of the money that I invested in my channel and my time from YouTube advertisements. That's the way it's supposed to be. And if somebody feels like, hey, this is great, you've done this, let me send a little bit of money your way, whatever, that's fine if they can. But these two are manipulating people without people knowing what is really going on. So they are using the money and are actively using substances that are illegal. So then people are like, no, I sent a gift card because she wanted a new set of pans for her cooking show. No, she sells those gift cards for cash for drugs. I don't understand why people are enabling her. So I wanted to warn this man. I look at him, and arguably he's a really good looking guy. He's very handsome. And so, I went over to his channel and said so, and all I could see is that he, used to live in California. I'm from the West Coast, and California is a good looking guy. So I figured maybe, he was in acting or modeling. He was in the LA scene. That's all I could figure out, is that he was in the LA scene, and he's a good looking guy. That's what I saw. That's what I heard. If anything else, I would like to just ask him, like, hey, what's your story? Whatever. So I went to his channel, and there was all pretty ladies in his chat. So I'm like, okay, nothing could be too wrong about this guy. He's got pretty ladies in his chat. So I said, hey, what's going on? And I saw, to ask him a question, you have to pay him. So he had it set to like pay only. So like you could not ask a question. So in the chat I said, hey, you're a really good looking guy. Have you done any modeling or whatever? And then the ladies were nice. They said, that's a nice thing to say. Yeah, him and his brother are really good looking. But he appeared to be asleep, otherwise unconscious. I don't know what was wrong with him, but he, was not interested in, making a new friend, introducing himself, saying, kind of what he does, his creator, his motto, his goal, whatever. I knew that he was with IP2, so, I have a couple of questions about YouTube, so I was going to ask him. Well, it wasn't possible without money, and bottom line is, we all know I'm one broke hoe. So I have my money, I don't need anything, but, if I had money, it'd be great, but I'm not asking for money, so I don't think that I should pay other people to ask a question. I answer questions from my viewers all the time. As you all know, I do a pretty good job of interacting and whatnot. And I don't want people to feel that they should have to pay me to ask me a question. That's that's in a sense prostitution. I mean, honestly, it's like that, So anyway, I don't need to pimp knowledge. So I went to him and I couldn't get so I went to the source because I like people to come to me first. So I started saying, hey, this Michelle, she's trying to find a man to get in that house right away because it's a pretty bad situation that's going to happen come May, and she's going to want somebody in there to hole up with her with a couple of handguns, and it's going to be a scary situation for the local sheriff's department. I hope that they're warned. They are out there. They get called regularly because of her shit shows. I explained this, and people started telling me some things about Ski, and they were horrible. And again, I thought, you know what? Hey, people probably say things about me, and they're going to say things about me, and things can be, out there that I don't even know about or are out there. And maybe somebody has me mixed up or whatever. I would rather have somebody come straight to me to say, hey, did you do this? And then I could either say, yeah, it was the worst day of my fucking life, and this is what happened. Or no, that's not me, or yeah, I fucking did that. So what? You know what I mean? All of those things are out there. And even, yeah, I did it and I'm proud. Yeah, can you believe I did that? That's me. All of those things are going to be part of my life and part of when I get doxxed, right? So, went back to his chat, looked around. He's got all these girls going back and forth, whatever. All right, whatever. Well, then he starts with the same thing where you can't ask him questions. So I was like, okay, I'll continue to just go find out answers about him. And before I knew it, he's hosting. She got all of her channels taken down. Okay. So unlike me, when I got my channel taken down, she laughed at it, made a new channel 5 minutes later. She's gotten 6 to 10 channels taken down now in the last 2 weeks. She doesn't care. She just makes a new channel. YouTube does nothing about it. How does that teach any of us that there are rules and regulations on this platform that we should honor as creators when they are allowing her to do this? What kind of a message does it send to the rest of us who work hard to follow the rules to keep our channels? Pretty frustrating, right? Well, I found out that he got kicked out of IP2 because he was a part of her doxing again. She was having her mods dox, and the one who kept saying, oh, wait till my husband comes home, and I'll have him run that name, send me this and that. Yeah, her husband's a fucking detective, and she's having him run names on her channel for this Michelle. So she can get anybody to do anything, and I wonder if somebody's going to lose their career over it. I saw this person saying that, and I was like, no way. So then I saw, I can't remember which channel last night exposed. I think Cherry Pick, was it Cherry Pick Clips? I don't know, I watch a lot of Clips channel, but they showed it. And, she was backed in a corner and she said, I would never do that. I would never do that. And they showed her name and that she was saying that, because she was a mod for Michelle. And she was, anybody who said anything against Michelle, she'd have her mods go and do that and dox them. And this one in there straight up, get me, say, yeah, send this, send all the information for, send the spelling of their name, send all of this. And yeah, when my husband gets home, I'll have him run the name. So when it comes out he's a police officer, somebody in a chat says, so what? Police officers run license plates all day, so how can they tell? Well, I'm going to tell you how you can tell, because a beat cop who's sitting there running plates has a dash cam so that there's reasoning as to why he just ran that plate, and he can show that he ran that plate because it did this in front of him and it's in his jurisdiction. This person's husband, based on the clip, is allegedly a detective. So for him to be running names for his wife so that then that person in their personal background, criminal or otherwise, can be put on display and has been put on display, allegedly. This is what YouTube has been allowing because of Michelle, who was obsessed with Molly Golightly, and Molly rejected her because Molly identified her as a psychopath pretty quickly. and rejected her. So now it's scorched earth on YouTube because nobody rejects Michelle. She's the biggest borderline histrionic, narcissistic, psychopathic piece of shit on the earth. Anyway, this guy, I'm disgusted with what I have heard about this man. I had to see it for myself. I went down the rabbit hole. I went down to continue to make my eyes see what this man is accused of. And it's shocking. It is shocking that YouTube allows him on here. It is shocking that he was a part of IP2. The racist rants that I have heard, some of the most vulgar. His arrest record is concerning. I don't want to say more. I don't want to say more about this man because you all should do what I did and go and find out for yourself. And I believe Landon Tells on Chicken Cakes gave the best content and came forth with the receipts and the clips. Like I say, I gave him an opportunity to explain whatever past he had or whatever, but the fact that he is now giving her a platform when he's from IP2, so he knows the rules that you are not supposed to give a Banovator a platform, but they do, and then they collaborate and they're like, hey, let's go on later and get some super chats. Yeah, let's do that. So they're both breaking the terms of service. So yeah, any of us should not be supporting them, right? Well, I don't support them. I do support the clip channels that get the clips, like Charlotte. But Michelle, like I said, she's sitting there saying that Charlotte's homely. Michelle insults every single woman in that way and goes so low when she is arguably a dirty, gross, nasty, filthy old woman. She showed her frickin' vajay and she was going, nah, 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 nah. And she was showing like the bandage over the thing. It looked like she was wearing a diaper and giving a little flash dance song in her dead goose voice. She said that because Molly sometimes tries to do Michelle's dead, dying goose voice that she has naturally. Michelle said that she hopes that Molly falls on the floor one time when she's doing it and is stuck with that voice for the rest of all time. So Michelle knows that her voice is that of a dying goose and curses it on somebody else. I mean, that was the first insightful thing I'd ever heard. Anywho, she's asking him to come out and they're going to stream live together so they can get more and more super chats and make more and more money from people. And people are giving them money to do it. Because she has that gangrenous toe, Ski has this thing on his earlobe. And I guess it started like a pimple assist something. But he woke up in the morning and it looked like Michelle's toe. And so people were like, oh my God, maybe it's a blood clot too. Well, you know what? The cartilage in your ear is not not innervated like with blood or an artery. That's why, when wrestlers get the cauliflower ear, it's because it doesn't really have the same capability to heal itself. It's cartilage. So it's not like something that, like your fingertips or whatnot. Now, of course, there has to be some blood flow there, and an infection that can go backwards, from outside in can be, quite devastating. So, of course, there's an area of concern, and especially they said that he had another sore similar that he popped himself on his abdomen. That, and that he lived in LA, and sounds like he had some challenges, if we will, and didn't live with the best people right now. He lives and broadcasts from his mother's bathroom, from what I understand, and that's why he doesn't have the shower curtain and stuff, and that's why he never moves or around or anything, because I don't think that he is allowed to walk around most of the house. You'll have to figure out his complicated relationship with his mother. I don't want to speak of what he did to her. Um so anyway, somebody just gave him $100 last night for his ear, and he's getting all this money for his ear now because he was saying, oh, he doesn't have money to go to urgent care. Well, I assume he's on state assistance too because he doesn't work at all, and with all of the super chats and everything, I can't. Why are people giving these to money? Why? I don't get it. So anyway, just wanted to kind of set that up for you. Um, Set that up for you, and then play this part of the clip that Charlotte, beautiful Charlotte. Please, everybody, tell Charlotte she's not homely. My God. Poor Charlotte even went and read the definition of homely because, it's just for this parasite to call her Charlotte homely. It's just not. Ugh. Oh, anywho, listen to this. I'm doing this under fair use, please. I'm doing this under the Copyright Act of 1976, which allows for the four-factor rule that allows for content to be used for criticism, education, further viewpoint, etc. And if there's a question, it goes to the four-factor, I don't know, something like that. I'm not fancy and can't do it, but I'm doing this under the fair Copyright Act. God, my brain just like zapped. What in the world? I'm doing it under something, right? Basically, I have to stop it and comment. I can't stream exactly that and just call it mine. Here we go.
Huh?
You pulled a bump show. Bump show always.
I was trying to get her. I was trying to convince her to come up here today.
Oh my gosh. No, yeah, why not, huh? What'd she say?
I caught the end of her stream.
Oh, you.
Look at that nasty frickin' crap there. Okay. He needs to be very careful with cleaning an open wound like that. And using your fingers, which are dirty at any time, but I don't know that he has went and washed his hands right before he did this. But please, before you attempt to pop anything that's opening another sore or whatnot, especially something that looks like infected, you're going to want to sanitize your hands, and you're going to want to sanitize anything that you're going to touch with it. You can use an alcohol pad. Because of the pandemic, we do have the luxury of having all kinds of sanitizers all over, and they're on clearance everywhere. Go in the gas station, you can often find a whole bottle of sanitizer for 25 cents at this rate. I've stocked up with several. So anyway, please sanitize before you do any of that. Otherwise, we are having a DIY Dr. Pimple episode right here.
You were in her stream today?
No, I caught the end of her stream. Legit. Like the very end.
Oh, okay, so what's semantics? I'm not making fun of you. I'm asking what is she
She's
saying?
like, "Why do you need Michelle?" I'm like, "Nothing. Don't worry about it. Nothing."
She said what?
What do you need, Michelle? But see, if I would have said, "I've got Adderall, I've got Xanax," I bet that bitch would have brought me some cigarettes then.
You wanted her to bring you some cigarettes and she said no? What a jerk.
I didn't tell her what I needed. I just told her I needed
Michelle,
something. But I should have said, "I've got Adderall, I've got Xanax. Come on up, Mom."
Michelle, the entertainer wants to ask you a question. Can you listen and pay attention?
Okay, so she's insinuating that another creator wouldn't give her the time of day unless she were to lure her with the pharmacy that is all things Michelle.
What?
Now, if you listen to the way that Andy just talked to her, actually his name's David, but anyway, his preferred name is Andy. So I believe that's his preferred name, and in this general setting, we'll go with preferred names. He talks to her in a patronizing way. It's interesting because he insults her. He's using her as his little circus act, and it's working. She is so in love with him that she doesn't get mad at him. Now, if any female talked to her in any way similar or said anything to her like the sky is blue, she'd go off on him like a freaking rabid pregnant armadillo, rat, bat, whatever it is she has up her hole today. Anyway,
I bet you if I was at your house, Bombshell would come over.
I bet she wouldn't.
You don't think would she be invited still?
Well, yeah, but I don't think she'd come over.
I bet you if I come to your house, Bombshell.
and that's the only part where I don't agree with Charlotte, where she just put in this. Sorry, Charlotte, but it's like I don't believe we need to donate because she has been begging him to come out to her home, and she has been talking about going basically on tour with him. Probably after they're both homeless, they get kicked out of her home, to go and do meet and greets all over the Georgia, Florida line. So wouldn't you like to have them come to a town near you so that you can give them money too?
Welcome.
Michelle, when am I going to grow up? Never. When are you going to grow up and stop making names like Tito? When am I going to grow up? I'm not the one running around with the name Tito. Two-faced. I'm a two-faced hoe. Okay.
Yep.
Duh. Just kidding.
Because somebody lives 25 minutes from my house, and doesn't she have a truck, or did she lose it? Did she sell it?
She got a white, like a kind of like a truck. It's like a Suburban or something. I mean, it's like a sports.
Blah 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 blah. I don't want to know what another creator has as a type of vehicle.
You should come up here. I'm joking.
Yeah, you're not joking.
Hey guys, clip this.
Clip this.
I was sleeping.
There you go.
And I was like all squirrel.
Okay, so you heard her give permission. So this is where, and I started a little bit soon. I do apologize, but this is where she gave permission for the Ski and Trash Shell show. She gave permission for Clip Channels to use this. So under her giving the right, I am protected as well as protected under the fair use thing that I can't say out loud right now because my brain has a cramp in it.
Rolled up in my comfort and stuff, and I thought Ski was laying next to me.
There you go. So what she's saying, so after because she'll just be, because she has the verbal diarrhea, right? And Ski will say, "Hey, Michelle, stop, listen. Somebody wants to say something to you. Can you address their comment?" And then she'll behave like a little girl because she wants a daddy. She wants somebody to take care of her because she's a petulant toddler. So she does what he says. And it's going to be very interesting because he has a long history of domestic abuse, which is factual. It is his criminal record. That's quite extensive. If anybody would like to look at that, I encourage them to do so through the channels that have exposed him, and see for yourself. Now, she has an extensive history of accusing people of abuse. It's not ever that they are abusing her, and you see that she does this. She baits and baits and baits and bullies and bullies and bullies and corners people until they react. And then at that moment, she plays the victim. Okay? So what's going to happen if these two do meet up? Because he goes into rages. He's stopped himself several times for her. And it's interesting because I've seen several other rant clips of his where he just goes. Now, maybe he's done some extensive work in therapy and doing some yoga, downward dog positions, things like that to just really, talk himself down and not going into those rages. So maybe he's a reformed rager. That would be beautiful for all intents and purposes. It's curious to see why he's stopping himself from letting her see that side. Now, the two of them, if they were to get together and her, lure him into her dwelling as she's trying, um, it might be okay for the first few days. Well, they'll be on a big um, pill fest. And I don't know if he drinks or not, but she certainly does. And they'll just be having this big old heyday. They'll go and use her EBT card and stuff. And she's got full disability and everything. And from what I hear, he likes the ladies with the alimony and the benefits. So they'll go out and get some food and whatnot, start this cooking channel, whatever. And then there's not going to be anybody there. He's going to be stuck with her. And she's going to be wanting her diaper changed and everything else that she needs, and him to care for her. And I need to care for me. I need to go in and feed the dogs. Something that is very disturbing is that we have seen her abuse the dogs. I understand there's a history. I'm not, you know what? I'm not going to say it. You guys find out yourself, but I'm very concerned about the dogs. I'm very concerned about the dogs in the situation with both of them. And I want to know what's going to happen because she falsely accuses men of domestic abuse, and she's going to be with one who has been convicted of such. So it'll be a big shit show. So right now she's just talking about how she's been, paddling the pink canoe. Well, she's thinking about him, she got herself all snuggled up in bed and everything, took her pills, her pills that put her to sleep. And, like she says, she takes her pills that put her to sleep. And she's in this drug-induced coma and whatnot, fantasizing about, ski, cricketing her legs back and forth together. And let's hear more about that.
Nah.
What a weird thing to think.
Wasn't that a weird dream?
Oh, you were dreaming about me too.
I was dreaming about you.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Uh-oh. Blessing.
Mickey Mouse fan, suck my twat.
I asked a question.
Suck it, Mickey Mouse, suck my twat. Blah, blah, blah. Lick it, suck it clean. Suck it clean. I haven't showered in a day.
Right? But
I haven't showered in a day. Come suck, Mickey Mouse fan.
Yuck.
You know what, Mickey Mouse fan? You know what? There's nothing but child molesters and pedophiles working at Disney now, so that's a great name.
Michelle, time out. 1 second. I just want you to take a...
Okay. Wasn't that interesting? Usually with people, he doesn't stop himself. He will go into the full rage. And he stopped himself with her. He used great self-control. He stopped her from saying what she was going to say. This is what these ads get for putting themselves in that, Oh, I've got all of this that I can check out, but I wanted to go back just a little bit. You can see my viewing history here. You can see what I've been looking at. Lots of Michelle and Ski here research, and look, Kenny Nolan, because I really like that song. Well, God, the song would be so perfect for. Oh my God. Okay. Because the song that was one of my favorites is called "I Like Dreaming." And what were we just talking about? Let me see if I can do that. I wish I was like a talented creator and I could like put, what she just said about her rolling in bed, and stuff and that. But I'm just not. But maybe another clip channel could take this and clip that and clip that. Yeah, I was watching. I love Burnt Toast. She's one of my favorite creators. I was watching the rally. Now look at this picture of Michelle here with her. She's like a doodle bug that wakes up and it's got its tentacles out, and she's got this like vampire ass hairline there. Um, Real interesting if you ask me. Real interesting. Uh, what a hairline. What a hairline. Um, and then we got Charlotte here from one homely woman to another. This is not the clip I'm recording from, but it's hilarious because Charlotte, took it well, and she's like, okay, from one homely woman to another, ass. But anyway, we got Michelle on the couch, and then we got him on the couch. They're both couch surfers. They're both not real active in the day. He's always like leaned against a couch. Now I've heard he's broadcasting from the shower, but I don't see that as a shower. So I don't, does he have a couch in the shower? Is there a couch in the bathroom? Who knows, right? And then, but she's always on the couch. And then, oh God, I was listening to the song Empty Garden the other day. I was really going through a rough time, and I was having a lot of issues with my panic attacks again last week. Some PTSD happened the week before, and I was just like, oh, this is the panic attacks, just kind of come out. And so I was really just like listening to songs and really trying to focus on the words. And I was like, empty garden, like, what's the problem? Can't you plant new things in the spring? Why do you have to have an empty garden? Can't you plant anything? Do you have the same luck as me when you try to garden? What's your problem? I had no idea that the song was written as a tribute to his friend John Lennon and his passing, and that the empty garden represents the empty arena that they filled previously. Didn't know that. So, anyway, let me go back here a little bit so you can just hear it as it was. Oh.
Michelle, timeout. 1 second. I just want. Oh, you were dreaming about me too.
I was dreaming about you.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Uh-oh. Blessing.
Hello? I've been drugged and kidnapped by my ex, and I can't see anything. Could you video call me and guide me to somewhere safe? Let's go. Where is his car?
Keep walking.
Tell me when he's here.
I can't do it alone.
I need you.
Oh God, baby.
Wow, what was that? All right. No,
Oh, you want it? Oh, no, hold on.
No, go. I'm not. You can smoke on whatever you're doing. I'm kidding.
Now look what they did here.
I'm smoking.
I was like, Jesus, I got my phone in my hand. It's not on the stand.
What's up, Milltown?
Hey,
So
glam it up.
That's all I'll do for right now. But it's like, and I mean, when the problem is that when anybody does anything with Michelle, obviously you get the replay chat, you get the regular chat. Okay, so that's from his that she got. Okay, so fair use on Ski Mask's thing where he did this, where it was pulled from Ski Mask and Friends. That the end is ear listen, and fair use for Charlotte on the web. Thank you, Charlotte, for letting me use your clip, and I extend credit to Ski Mask and Friends. And Charlotte, thank you for all of the hard work that you're doing to bring the truth. And I am so sorry that you were insulted by an absolute freaking bridge troll. And with that, I will let you go. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of the solution. I hope that this awareness goes out so that if you were just to, happen along somebody's channel who is begging for a super chat and whatnot, it makes you pause and really, really consider if this is a good use of your money, or if a better use would be to donate money to an animal shelter, a no-kill shelter, go to Petco, buy some food, some toys, for animals in need, etc., etc. Donate to the homeless. Whatever I think a better use of money could be. There are resources for people like the ones we've shown, and we know that Michelle does brag about how much money she gets from her full disability. So our taxpayers are ensuring that she has 1000% money for her shelter, her food, and full medical. She may still be backed up by TRICARE for her health. Additionally, she receives alimony from ETN. So she's covered. She's covered. She doesn't need the money. The money is going for her addictions, and that's why she had the health issues that she does, and people need to pray for her to attain sobriety. And with that, I will say goodbye. Please like and subscribe, and please continue to be part of the solution. Thank you. Bye-bye.